truth is your worth, it's inherent. You're inherently valuable. You're inherently loved. And again, you are inherently deserving of whatever life you want without having to do anything else. And once you recognize that, and once you really start believing that to be true, everything that you want will come to you with a lot more ease.
What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about never good enough. Now, in the clip that I just played, it is our favorite person, Miss Lynette Atkins. Ever since I watched that first video, I watched that video that YouTube fed me, and I usually will ignore certain videos, but I watched this video, and now YouTube is just literally serving me Lynette Atkins videos, which is pretty funny. But I played that clip, never good. You are good enough as you are, and one of the things that someone emailed me about the other day is talking about, self-improvement. They were like, Jack, why do you say fuck self-improvement? You don't believe in self-improvement. And I figured it'll probably be best if I make a video about what I mean when I say fuck self-improvement. Now, Lynette Atkins in the clip at the beginning of this video, Lynette Atkins talks about how, you are good enough as you are. And this is the message that, women perpetually kind of push to each other, that, you are good enough as you are. And, it's funny because if you look at most people, I know a lot of very successful people and very successful, happy people. And one of the things that I've been doing is I've been kind of inquiring more on people who are, just happy, successful, living life, low neuroticism. And I've been wondering, what are your thoughts on self-improvement? Do you self-improve? And the funny thing is that, most people who are successful, low neuroticism, living pretty good lives are not really self-improving. They're like, self-improvement. What do I need to self-improve? What am I self-improving for? And what am I self-improving? And these are people who I think had good childhood experiences. They grew up their teenage years. Everything kind of turned out right. I'm not saying that everything's perfect. I'm sure we all have our struggles, right? But there are people in life who things just kind of went smoothly for their development. And the people who really obsess over self-improvement are people who something went wrong somewhere in their development. And the self-improvement industry loves these types of people. They prey on people like this. I was one of these people. I'm not going to lie. I was one of these people, especially in my teens and my early 20s. A lot of the self-improvement coaches, the dating coaches will tell you, oh, you're not good enough. You got to improve. You got to get more muscle. You got to get more of this, more of that, more, do more, be more. Average is not good enough. Be more. And there's this message that is constantly perpetuated to young men that you are not good enough. And, I would say that chances are that message is probably correct. Chances are you're probably not good enough for a lot of things in life, and you never will be, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is where I disagree with the self-improvement industry a lot, because see, they use the fact that you're not good enough in life for a lot of things in life as an insecurity to prey on. They lead you to believe that some way, somehow, if you follow this course, if you follow this program, then you can become good enough. But see, in life, there are many things in life that you are just not good enough for. You're just not good enough for many, many things in life. Some things that you want to be in life, you're just not good enough for, no matter how much you self-improve. You know, it doesn't mean that you can't be, not being good enough, accepting that you're not good enough it doesn't mean that you can't live a good life. But chances are you were born to be average and mediocre. And that's a fundamental truth that most people spend their entire lives fighting. I'm going to say this again. Accepting that you're fundamentally not good enough for many things in life doesn't mean that you can't live a good life. But chances are you were born to be average and mediocre. You were born to live an average life or live a mediocre existence and then die. If you look at most history, literally look at most people in history, Most people live pretty average lives, pretty mediocre lives, and then they died. Doesn't mean you can't pursue your own personal reasons of greatness. Doesn't mean you can't pursue enjoying life in your own way. But if you look at it from the outside, you may live a pretty basic life, right? And you may have hobbies and things you enjoy, whatever it is. And people may look at your life and be like, well, why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you doing more? Why don't you own a $10 million company by now? And the thing is that you're not meant to be that. A lot of things in life, you're just not meant to be. See, life is random as hell. Most things in life are random as hell. And a lot of people prey on people's need for certainty. Most of this hustle and grind, average isn't good enough, bruh. This is what a lot of these dating coaches, these self-improvement coaches, this is what they teach young men, hustle, grind. Average isn't good enough, bro. All this stuff has been brainwashed into people by marketers. Average isn't good enough, bro. Accept. But see, the truth is that you need to accept that you are not good enough for many things in life. Accepting that you're just not good enough is freeing. It's actually a freeing thing because you stop striving in directions in false directions. Most people spend their lives fighting battles that are not worth fighting. They spend their lives fighting the same fight that is not worth fighting. Striving and striving and striving and striving and striving. In life, you will never be better than what you were genetically made to be. No matter how much you self improve, no matter how much, game or whatever books you read, self improvement books you read, in life, you will never be better than you were genetically made to be. What this means is that in a lot of cases in life, you don't have the ingredients to be whatever it is you want to be in life. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But you must fundamentally accept that. That is a fundamental truth you must accept. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's no need to change this fact. This is why it's important to recognize and understand your own strengths and what you have as a natural talent in life. What are your natural strengths? Do you have any natural strengths? I'm sure you do. Most people do have some natural strengths. This is why it's important to understand yourself, understand your personality so you can make good choices. See, most people make bad choices that are not congruent with their personality, not congruent with their strengths. They're striving in the wrong directions because some self improvement coach, some dating coach told them, hey, this is what you need to be. This is why things like understanding your personality, understanding yourself is crucial. In childhood, was there anything in childhood that you were naturally good at? You can try to grind and hustle and willpower your way through life. And I already mentioned this, but willpower is not enough. Willpower is not enough. You can try to hustle and grind and strive and strive and strive, but it's all in vain and a waste of time because see, self-improvement coaches, they teach you that, average isn't good enough. If you want girls, if you want to be a high value man, you must work harder, earn more, do more, be more status, more this, more that, And this is what they preach. And and it causes young men to be neurotic, and it causes young men to have a fundamental belief that they're not good enough in life. And this is what dating coaches perpetuate. This is why young men have low confidence. They're depressed because of the society, because of the message of grind more, do more, be this, be this, be this, be that, you know? And, part of this stuff is, when it comes to the culture, a lot of the culture is dictated by women. Women dictate a lot of the culture, you know? People ask me, for example, people always ask me, what have you been up to? And they're waiting for you to say, oh, I just figured out the cure to cancer. They're waiting for you to say some big exciting thing or try to prove to them how exciting your life is. But when people ask me what I've been up to, I just say pretty much nothing. When people say, "Hey, man, what have you been up to?" I say, "Oh, pretty much nothing. I pretty much do as little as possible. I work and I pretty much do as little as possible." And it's not because this is true, but I do this because I have nothing to prove to people. And it's funny when you watch people's faces. If they say, "Oh, what have you been up to?" and you say, "Oh, I just been playing video games, working, and eating good food." People will look at you like, wait, you haven't been traveling the world. You haven't been striving to be a billionaire. You haven't been striving and striving and striving. And people will look at you confused. It's actually pretty funny because people are so brainwashed. This pursuit of greatness, it causes, we live in a neurotic society. you know the good life is living a peaceful life, is living as peaceful as possible and doing only the things that you truly want to do besides work. We got to work to eat. That's something that we have to just do, even if we don't like it. Sometimes we just have to suck it up and work. But outside of work, the good life is living as peaceful as possible and doing only the things that you want to do. You know, it's okay. Allow people to think that you're a loser. Allow people to have opinions that you're a loser, that you're a nobody, because these are just fake people anyway. These are people who are superficial. You know, allow yourself to be a loser, even though you're not really a loser. Let people look at you like a loser because you're not doing anything great. You're not climbing Mount Everest, or you're not fucking figuring out the cure to cancer or whatever have you. Let people, being a loser in life is freeing. Not being the life of the, not being super popular, not being super this or super that, or being, this person who's moving up in the world. You may work your job, you may be doing good work in your career, you got your hobbies, you got this and that, the things you enjoy, and you enjoy your life, and that's it. You don't have to strive for anything. Being a loser in life is freeing. Not everybody is going to be a winner. Most people in life are not going to be winners. Most people, no matter how much striving they do, will be mediocre, average, and then die. And that's pretty much it. And you could, like, again, like I said, that doesn't mean you're going to have a bad life. Being average, there's nothing wrong with being average, no matter how much society tells you that there's, oh, strive more, be more, do more. Being average is totally okay. And when I say average, what I mean is, I mean this in a holistic way. I'm not telling you that, oh, because the average income is 50K per year, to only make 50K per year because that's average. No, I'm saying average as a holistic life. Like, you don't need to make your life count for something. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people feel like they need to strive and make their lives count for something, and you don't need to make your life count for anything. You don't need to strive to be great or to be this, person who's remembered forever. You know, in life, you don't have time to be the same person that's fighting the same fight for the rest of your life. If you're 19, 18 years old and your only purpose in life is to try to get laid, sometimes you'll talk to men who are like in their late 30s, who are still in that fantasy of, like, they want to be these players. They're still trying to catch up for the youth that they didn't have. They wanted to be the players and get the girls, but they're just not that guy. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a girlfriend. Doesn't mean you can't have a wife or a good life or a good dating life, but you're not that guy. You need to accept that you're not the smooth, suave, good looking, tall, handsome player type guy, you know? But, be okay being a loser in life. They push this message that the only way to enjoy life is if you win. You got to win at life. It's all propaganda. See, in life, you must choose reality based thinking over positive thinking. You must give up the need for certainty and control in your life. See, in life, certain knowledge and fundamental understandings can grant you freedom from psychological torture and pain. The idea that the average existence isn't good enough is a setup for misery. You know, embrace being ordinary, embrace being an ordinary man, no matter how much women tell you that, oh, you need to be great, you need to be making $1 billion. That's not true. It comes down to your attractiveness. Is a woman attracted to you? If a woman is attracted to you, you don't need to be great. You don't need to be an exceptional person. You can be a flawed, ordinary human being, just like everybody else. There's nothing wrong with that. People will lead you to believe you need to be this great billionaire, person in order to be able to attract a woman, but it's not true. It all comes down to, is a woman attracted to you? That's all that matters. And I'm not saying after that fact that personality compatibility doesn't matter. Yes, that stuff matters, but in order to pique a woman's interest, you don't need to be great. And this is what the self-improvement and dating coaches prey on. You know, average isn't enough, bro. Never stop improving. And this message makes young men incredibly miserable and neurotic. This is why we see a lot of young men neurotic as fuck. They're watching 1,000,001 self-improvement videos, neurotic as hell, trying to search for answers and find solutions. Most self improvement content and hustle and grind pushers only keep you locked into a cycle of self evaluation where you're constantly evaluating yourself and being overly critical. These people push and sell you inflated expectations of life. I'm going to say this again. These self improvement gurus, these dating coaches, these people push and sell you inflated expectations about life, false expectations about life and reality, when the reality is that most people, including you, is just going to live an ordinary life. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you can have a great time, find things you like to do. What are your interests? Do your interests. If it's video games, let it be video. If you genuinely enjoy video games, I do, then enjoy video games. Don't let society tell you you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, you should be socializing more. Oh, you should be this, you should be that. No matter how much you self improve, no matter how many self improvement videos you watch, none of that crap, no matter how much any of that stuff you do, it's all not really, it's really not going to matter at the end of the day in the grand scheme of things. And you know, being normal, average, or God forbid ordinary feels like a failure in a world full of, you know, stardom, clout chasers, wealth. People are flexing on social media. You know, dating coaches and these red pillars and self-improvement gurus are flashing this, flashing that. Oh, you got to have lifestyle, you got to have life set up. Oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Embrace your humanity, embrace your averageness, embrace nothingness, embrace your averageness as an ordinary person. You know, yes, there are times in life where something is important is happening and it's riding on you being competitive. You know, it's riding on you being above average. There are some times where you do have to rise to the occasion, but most of life, it's totally okay to be average. Sure, you may succeed past average in some areas. There are some areas in life where you may have natural talent in, you may have natural abilities in, and yes, there are areas where you're going to be above average. But I'm speaking holistically, as in the average lifespan, you know, the average plight of the average human, you know. Let go of the need to be special or unique. You don't have to prove anything. Follow your interest. Focus on what truly matters to you. Choose to be ordinary. Choose to pursue your own personal greatness, not the ideal image of greatness spewed by self improvement coaches and gurus. You know, I'm not against self improvement holistically. I'm against unrealistic expectations, obsession, and neuroticism caused by self improvement and perfectionism. You know, at a baseline level, it is good to improve your life holistically. It is good to carve out a decent life for yourself. But most people self improve thinking it's going to get them certain results in life, false expectations sold by marketers and gurus. Let go of the inner image that of how you should be. Cultivate, you know, we live in a culture of more, never good enough, never enough. Most people become specialness junkies, constantly searching for the feeling and confirmation they are better than others at pretty much everything. And most marketers and gurus, they prime you for this type of thinking. More, more, more. Let go of the fantasy to feel special, trying to fulfill some idea. None of this crap matters. You know, none of it matters. Always follow your natural interests. Always do exactly what you want to do in life, even if it goes against what people tell you it is to be a man, quote unquote. Most men live their entire lives constantly trying to prove something. They never truly live for themselves. It's okay to not be a quote unquote winner in life. You don't need to be a winner to be content and at peace with life and to live a good life. It's all a dream. Embrace nothingness. Be okay not being viewed as a winner in life. Be okay not being viewed as special or unique or standout. Social media only makes all of this stuff worse. We only see people thriving, but we don't see the ordinary life of people. We only see the highlight reels, the good selfies, the perfect curated reels and highlights, the gym picture after a pump. You know, if you let social media tell you everyone is winning except you, if you listen to social media, most people are living ordinary lives and are ordinary people, regardless of highlight. Influencers are the worst for this. Their goal is to make you want their life and want what they have in order to get into your pockets. They want you to think they have some special or unique knowledge or solution that you don't have. It's all a part of a marketing scheme. This is why I say marketers ruin everything. When it comes to dating, people will lead you to believe you need to be special, be better, be more, do more. No, you don't. You just need to be attractive. You don't need to be the perfect high value man or, quote, be a top 10% man, bruh. None of that crap. Marketers and gurus play on your insecurities. They prey on who you are, your idealized image of who you want to be, all of that crap. You know, when it comes to dating, when it comes to all this stuff, all you need to be is attractive to succeed at dating, and of course, have a decent personality, be a decent human being. You know, have realistic expectations. Social media screws with expectations of what life should be like. Learn to be content doing nothing. Learn to not always be busy. Learn to not need to tell people how exciting your life is. People ask you, "Oh, how's your life been? What have you been up to?" Nothing, playing video games, eating good food, trips here and there, and that's it. But most people try to hype up their lives because they want to impress people, you know? Damn, I just went off. I guess we'll leave it there, guys. That is it for today's video. I will see you in the next one.